she smirked. "I'm dumping you before you embarrass yourself with that ring." I just nodded and walked away. Sometimes the most devastating moments arrive wrapped in such casual cruelty that you almost miss their significance. I met Chloe at a college alumni networking event 5 years ago, where she was displaying her freelance graphic design portfolio with the kind of passionate intensity that immediately drew me in. I was working as a network security specialist at a mid-sized cybersecurity firm, nothing glamorous but stable work that paid well and challenged me technically every day. What started as a conversation about her digital art pieces evolved into coffee dates, weekend gallery visits, and eventually moving in together to a cozy townhouse in Richmond where my methodical precision somehow balanced her creative chaos perfectly. I genuinely believed we were building something lasting together, two people with different strengths supporting each other's dreams while creating a life that made sense for both of us. When her biggest client suddenly canceled a major branding project 6 months into our relationship, leaving her unable to afford her shared workspace at the Artist Collective downtown, I quietly liquidated my entire investment portfolio without hesitation to cover 6 months of her studio rent, making sure she never felt like charity or a burden. I picked up double shifts at the cybersecurity firm and started taking weekend consulting jobs with small businesses to fund her art supplies, specialized design software subscriptions, and the expensive networking events she claimed were absolutely essential for building her client base in such a competitive creative industry. The sacrifice felt natural because I could see how talented she was, how her work had this unique blend of technical precision and emotional depth that set her apart from other freelance designers in the area. After our 3rd anniversary dinner at the little Italian place where we'd had our first official date, when she talked excitedly about wanting to showcase her work in legitimate gallery exhibitions rather than just client projects, I began seriously saving for an engagement ring, spending my lunch breaks researching designs that would reflect her artistic sensibility while staying within my realistic budget as a cybersecurity specialist. I even started browsing jewelry stores on weekends, taking mental notes about what caught my eye and imagining the moment I'd surprise her with something beautiful that represented our future together. I trusted her completely during this period, attributing her increasingly frequent late nights at supposed networking events and secretive phone conversations with art collectors to the natural stress and demands of building a freelance career in such a competitive creative field where connections meant everything. Even when she started mentioning Preston more frequently, this supposedly successful art dealer who owned multiple galleries and claimed to have connections in New York and Los Angeles, I felt nothing but genuine pride that she was finally getting serious recognition from established industry professionals who could advance her career. I supported every gallery opening she attended, every client meeting she prepared for, every creative project she poured herself into, believing wholeheartedly that I was investing in our shared future while she pursued her artistic passion and built the foundation for long-term success that would benefit both of us as partners. After consulting with Chloe's sister Maya about the perfect engagement ring design, I discovered that my trust had been catastrophically misplaced when Maya immediately betrayed my confidence in the cruelest possible way. I had approached Maya because she knew Chloe's taste better than anyone, and we spent an afternoon looking at different styles online while she helped me understand what would make Chloe happiest. The night before my carefully planned proposal at our favorite rooftop restaurant overlooking the James River, Chloe returned from what she claimed was an art gallery opening with a cold expression I'd never seen before and news that would shatter everything I thought I knew about our relationship. She walked into our living room where I was reviewing my presentation notes for a client meeting, looked directly at me with this cruel smirk, and said the words that still echo in my memory, "I'm dumping you before you embarrass yourself with that ring." The casual cruelty of her delivery hit me like a physical blow, but she wasn't finished destroying 5 years of what I thought was genuine love and partnership. Maya had told her about the ring immediately after our conversation, and Chloe confessed to a months-long affair with Preston, the successful art dealer who supposedly appreciated her work more than I ever could. Preston owns multiple galleries and he's promised me exhibitions in New York and Los Angeles, she explained with the kind of excitement she used to reserve for our future plans together. He understands my artistic vision in ways you never could, and he can actually provide the sophisticated lifestyle I deserve instead of this comfortable but suffocating suburban existence. She dismissed our entire relationship as something she had simply outgrown, claiming that Preston offered the artistic passion and cultural sophistication she truly needed, while I was just a reliable tech guy who had been holding her back from reaching her true potential in the art world. "You're stable and dependable, and that was nice when I was struggling," she continued, each word carefully chosen to inflict maximum damage. "But I need someone who can match my creative energy and actually understand what it means to live for art rather than just funding it like some kind of patron." The systematic way she dismantled everything we'd built together, reducing 5 years of shared dreams to a stepping stone she was now ready to discard, revealed a calculated coldness I never could have imagined from someone I'd planned to marry. Without argument, pleading, or any attempt to change her mind, I simply nodded once and walked to our bedroom to collect my laptop, a few changes of clothes, and the small collection of books I'd been reading. I moved with the kind of calm efficiency I used when handling security breaches at work, methodically gathering what I needed while she stood in the living room watching me with what looked like surprise at my complete lack of dramatic reaction. That same night, I transferred the townhouse lease entirely to Chloe's name, signed the paperwork to remove myself from all utilities and shared accounts, and moved into a modern one-bedroom apartment across town that I'd found online in less than 2 hours. The silence felt like the most honest response to someone who had just revealed that 5 years of my love and sacrifice meant nothing more than convenient financial support while she pursued what she really wanted. I threw myself into my cybersecurity consulting business with laser focus, working 18-hour days and landing 3 high-profile corporate contracts within the first month after our breakup. When Maya called 2 weeks later, attempting to play mediator and suggesting I should fight for the relationship, I calmly informed her that betraying my trust about something as personal as an engagement ring had consequences, and I blocked both sisters from all communication channels immediately afterward. The newfound freedom was intoxicating in ways I hadn't expected, allowing me to pursue advanced security certifications, join a local cycling club, and rediscover interests I'd abandoned while supporting Chloe's career dreams. My apartment became a sanctuary of quiet productivity where I could focus on building something that was entirely mine, surrounded by colleagues who valued my technical expertise rather than viewing me as a convenient funding source for their ambitions. 4 months after our breakup, Chloe began a relentless campaign of increasingly desperate contact attempts that started with casual coffee invitations sent through mutual friends and quickly evolved into lengthy voicemails left on my work phone about missing our supposedly deep emotional connection. Her initial messages carried subtle hints of disappointment with Preston's demanding travel schedule for his gallery business and his tendency to prioritize his established artists over her emerging career, though she tried to frame these concerns as minor adjustments rather than fundamental problems. "I just wanted to catch up and see how you're doing," she said in one particularly transparent voicemail, her voice carrying that familiar manipulative sweetness she used when she wanted something expensive. "Preston's been traveling so much for work lately, and I've been thinking about how we used to talk about everything together." When I maintained complete radio silence, refusing to engage with any of her attempts at reconciliation, Chloe enlisted our mutual friends from the local art community, who began sending me carefully worded messages claiming she was going through a rough patch with some family issues and really needed closure to move forward with her life. The manipulation escalated when Maya showed up at my office building one afternoon, somehow having discovered where I worked, demanding that I meet her in the lobby because I was being vindictive and cruel by refusing to give Chloe another chance since family loyalty should transcend personal grudges. "She made a mistake, but she really loves you," Maya insisted, apparently forgetting that she had directly caused this entire situation by betraying my confidence about the engagement ring. "Preston isn't making her happy the way you did, and she realizes now that she threw away something real for a fantasy." The family's toxic enabling reached its absolute peak when Chloe's mother called my workplace directly, claiming I was abandoning someone who truly loved me and threatening to contact my clients about my supposed character issues if I didn't start returning her daughter's calls immediately. "Chloe is devastated and you're being unnecessarily cruel," her mother said during a 15-minute lecture that my assistant eventually had to cut short. "She made one mistake and you're punishing her like she committed some unforgivable crime." Despite the mounting pressure from an entire family system that seemed incapable of accepting responsibility for their own actions, and their increasingly manipulative tactics designed to guilt me into resuming contact, I remained completely focused on my thriving consulting business and refused to engage with their coordinated drama campaign. Through industry connections and professional networking events, I learned that Preston's promises of gallery exhibitions had been nothing more than empty manipulation, as he routinely seduced emerging artists with false opportunities while maintaining simultaneous relationships with multiple women across different cities. The devastating revelation came when Preston began an affair with Maya during a wine tasting event that Chloe had organized specifically to network with potential clients and showcase her portfolio to Preston's supposedly influential contacts. Their secret relationship developed over several weeks of clandestine meetings, with Preston offering Maya the exact same promises of gallery representation and artistic advancement that he had used to lure Chloe away from our relationship. The explosive truth was exposed when Chloe discovered intimate text messages on Maya's phone during what should have been a peaceful family dinner, leading to a screaming confrontation that shattered both the sisters' relationship and Chloe's remaining dreams of artistic success in one catastrophic evening. Preston chose Maya over Chloe without hesitation, offering her the gallery opportunities and New York connections he had promised to her sister, while Chloe found herself completely blacklisted from the local art scene due to the scandal and drama surrounding their messy love triangle. With her professional reputation destroyed, her family relationship fractured beyond repair, and her financial support from Preston abruptly withdrawn, Chloe lost her expensive studio space within weeks and was forced to move back in with her parents while working part-time retail jobs just to cover basic living expenses. Chloe's attempts at reconciliation became increasingly frantic and desperate as her world completely collapsed around her professional and personal failures, with voicemails that grew longer and more emotionally unhinged each week. She left tearful messages confessing that Preston had been using her for his sick psychological games, and that Maya's betrayal felt even worse than losing him because family was supposed to be sacred and unbreakable. Her messages revealed the true depth of her desperation as she begged for what she now called the peaceful, stable life she had stupidly thrown away for false promises and empty dreams. When I finally answered one of her late-night calls out of sheer curiosity about how far she'd fallen, Chloe's voice was completely broken as she admitted that Preston and Maya were now engaged and planning to open a new gallery together using all the industry connections she had personally introduced them to during their relationship. "Everything I worked for, every contact I made, every opportunity one created," she sobbed into the phone. "They're using it all to build their perfect life while I'm folding clothes at Target for $9 an hour." Her final desperate plea centered on her realization that my steady love and financial support had represented real security and genuine partnership compared to Preston's manipulative games and empty promises. But when I calmly stated that I had completely moved on and found someone who actually valued what I offered, her desperation instantly transformed into bitter rage about my supposed heartless abandonment of someone who had truly loved me despite making one terrible mistake. 2 years later, I had achieved remarkable success with my cybersecurity consulting firm, earned recognition as a regional expert in digital forensics through several high-profile corporate security assessments, and was in a committed relationship with Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a respected emergency physician who appreciated my stability and shared my values about building something meaningful together. Elena and I had met through a mutual colleague at a medical conference where I was presenting on healthcare cybersecurity protocols, and she immediately impressed me with her intelligence, work ethic, and complete financial independence that made our relationship feel like a genuine partnership between equals. During a celebration dinner at an upscale steakhouse for my latest contract with a Fortune 500 company, Chloe suddenly appeared at our table looking exhausted and desperate, having somehow learned about my professional achievements through mutual connections in the local business community. She interrupted our private celebration with a rambling, emotional speech about how Preston and Maya's marriage was built on lies and betrayal, while she struggled with depression and financial instability, working as a department store clerk while her artistic dreams remained permanently shattered by the scandal that had destroyed her reputation. "I know I don't deserve another chance," she said, tears streaming down her face as other diners began staring at our table. But what we had was real, and I threw it away for someone who never actually cared about me the way you did. Her final desperate offer to start over and build something real together was met with polite but absolutely firm dismissal as I introduced Elena as my girlfriend and requested privacy for our celebration of my professional milestone. "I'm genuinely sorry you're struggling," I said calmly, "but I've built a life with someone who values the same things I do, and I'm not interested in revisiting the past." The public humiliation of being rejected in favor of someone who truly appreciated what I offered marked the definitive end of Chloe's relevance in my life, while Elena and I looked forward to our upcoming vacation where I planned to propose and celebrate both my professional success and the personal happiness I'd found with someone who deserved it.